Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Here I am outside once again. It's like a temperate day, I would say, enough for a full suit. I'd say I'm pretty comfortable, and I want to get right into things because this is going to be, it's going to be kind of a unique review because I want to try out this item, but this is also going to be like a little bit of a story time because boy do I have an experience to share with all of you. So first and foremost, let's just get into business right now. Today I'm going to be trying out the Extramostbestest thin crust pizza. Now I might have tried this out a couple years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and Little Caesars now has really been promoting this. I think those are some Blue Jays in the background. Maybe they're excited. Maybe they're not Blue Jays. I don't know what they are. But they've been promoting this new deal where you can get the Extramostbestest thin crust pizza for the price of $6.49. Likewise, you can get it as a meal deal for $10.99 with a 2-liter soda, some crazy bread, and some crazy sauce. Now this pizza features obviously a very thin crust, like thin and crispy they try to brand it as. It comes with mozzarella, Munster cheese, extra pepperoni, and it's just supposed to be, like a thin and crispy pizza, again at this decent meal deal as they say. So that's what it comes down to, that's the item, and really what I want to try to do is, I haven't had this pizza in years. Usually I just go with the regular Extramostbestest pizza, or sometimes the deep dish one. But, every now and then I check back on these items. I want to see if they're either maintaining the standards, if it's any better, any worse, how things have changed. Because we know over the years with a lot of establishments, sometimes the recipe, the methodology, whatever it might be, can fluctuate. So obviously with this pizza being in the limelight again, we'll find out how it is at this point. So that's what it is. I'll give you a quick look at the pizza before I get into my story. There's the box, still promoting their delivery. And again, I was keeping an eye out this time as it arrived, and that humanoid thing actually did ride up on the moped this time around. It was a sight to see, all right. You can see, here's what it looks like. I think as I remember it. Right there you can see, a good amount of pepperoni, glistening, and definitely a thin and crispy pizza. But again, that's just the close-up shot of it if you're interested. And, I think it looks as advertised, and of course when I break it out to eat it in a couple minutes, you'll see for yourself just the cross-section. So that's just the basic intro for the review. Now here comes an experience that for a little bit I was even contemplating should I even share it in a review or not, but I thought, this is one of the only occasions that I'll probably ever have to do this, and it certainly is topical, as you'll find out. So it was a crazy thing, but let's just get into it. Some of you watching may have taken note of this necktie that I'm wearing. Obviously a pizza-themed tie in the Little Caesars colors, so to speak. I'll even focus in, and you can see full pizzas on it. Orange in color. Similar orange to this box, right? And maybe you're starting to add things up and you're thinking, is this a Little Caesars tie? Well, indeed it is. But it's not really the tie itself that I want to discuss too much, but it's the means upon which I obtained this tie, because easily, and I have a lot of neckties. It's the strangest one yet, I have to say. So let's go back like a couple weeks ago. I received word that I get this mysterious package delivered. Now, I had no idea what it was. I wasn't really ordering anything. I didn't expect anything. This box just shows up. And, I hear some things rattling around in it, etc. So once I figure out who it was sent from and what exactly this was, I kind of felt comfortable kind of investigating it a little further, opening the package, and seeing what exactly was sent to me just out of the blue like this. I open it up, and the first thing that was at the top of it was this letter, and I still saved it. You can see it right there. And just let it speak for itself, but this is what it said from Little Caesars. I think it was a form of like viral marketing, so to speak. And, you know, I guess they wanted like an unboxing sort of video done. So I start digging through it, and I find this safe. A safe, of all things, inside this box. And now, one thing that you have to know about different types of safes is that some of them are battery operated, some of them have an electronic lock, etc. I tried to, you know, just punch numbers into the keypad on the lock, but nothing was working. I was hearing some rattling around inside. Well, as it turns out, the safe wasn't functional at all, because the AA batteries that powered the door all fell out in transit. And again, you can see these are the famed batteries that were there. As a result, they must have fallen out of the back of the door to the safe, rendering it effectively useless. So no matter what, I could press in any numbers on the keypad. With there being no electricity, no way to just undo the lock by entering in a code or a combination, I kind of felt like I was dead in the water. So I had to open up the safe by more inventive means. What I did first is I cut this hole in the back of the safe so I can kind of look and see what was inside of it. There I am. And this is the safe. You can see I just sliced that thing open. And there's the front of it. And once I was able to discern that there was a small box inside, then I decided, all right, let's just try to open this. So there's the door of the safe, which I ripped off of its hinges. You can see on the back there, that's where those batteries fell out. And it's still locked. I mean, you could still see, you know, I can punch in whatever numbers I want to, but it doesn't really matter. But it's all busted open, and you can see first I pried the door up. I really I manhandled the thing, but eventually, after I ripped that door off of its hinges, I decided to open up that little box. And what was inside the box? This necktie and nothing more. So, after all of that work, we got ourselves a tie and a story to tell, I suppose. So, that's what it is. I thought to myself, well, you know, I didn't do the video about the safe itself because it's just, you know, I thought, though, well, next time I review Little Caesars, I'll put the tie on and share a little story about that. So that's what we have. As it turns out, this was supposed to be for the pretzel crust pizza, which isn't on the menu anymore. And these are supposed to be pretzel crust pizzas on the tie. So that's where, you know, that leaves us to today. What I tried to do before I, you know, tried to get the pizza, because money's a little tight at this time of year, I actually called up Little Caesars and I offered to just do a trade. You know, I'll give them this tie, give the manager the tie in exchange for the pizza, but they actually said they'd call the cops if I didn't stop. They said they only want George Washington's here. So, you know, evidently I forked over the $6.49 for the pizza, and I kept the tie either way. Yeah, that's what we've got, though. It's just, I wanted to share that because who would believe it? A safe with a tie inside of it, so there you go. Alright, that's the story. Story time with Review Bra. Let's get into the review now. Yeah, the Little Caesars necktie. Who would have thought, right? Certainly a story to tell, right? There's the pizza. You can see thin crust as ever. A little bit of a bake on the bottom. Glistening grease, pepperoni. So there you have it. I think I've been talking enough, so let's just get right into the eating. And let's try it out. The Extramostbestest thin crust pizza going in. for those of you wondering, no, despite all of this, my view of Little Caesars hasn't changed or soured in any way, shape, or form. I just think, hey, it's an amusing experience and it gives a story to tell, right? And a tie to wear, but there you go. No bad blood because of it. It's just I thought it was kind of strange, and I don't know, people wouldn't believe this unless I actually dragged the broken safe over here and showed it. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And hey, I got some batteries out of it too, so there you go. I needed some double A's actually, so there's that. Pizza itself isn't bad. Now, I'm not normally like a super thin and crispy crust type of pizza person, you know, like I was just saying, I like the deep dish stuff. But for what it is, all things considered, I like it. Now, you always have to understand that the base of this pizza is a little light, you know, a little, I'd say it's flaky. Yeah, there's some crisp to it, and I imagine that, you know, your mileage may vary in that it may be crispier in some instances than others, but definitely around that crust, you know, you have that firmness and that crunch to it. But again, overall, a thin and crispy, flaky pizza. I really like the topping distribution this time around. Now, they say there's extra cheese on it, and I could definitely tell, but it's not like an overly cheesy pizza, although I would be willing to wager that actually the extra pepperoni kind of balances it all out, so it doesn't feel like you're getting too much cheese or too much pepperoni. Everything just works out nicely. Thing that I always like, and this goes for any establishment, very good pepperoni distribution. You can pretty much see that every bite that I was taking, you have a piece of pepperoni there, pretty much. Not all the time, but, you know, more often than not, you got that pepperoni there. It's flavorful, a little bit of spice to it, you know, with the pepperoni, a little bit of saltiness, but overall, I think it's just a nice, you know, thin and crispy pepperoni pizza. The one thing that I like this time around also is the sauce distribution. Now, a lot of the time I get my pizzas light on the sauce. Of course, this time around I didn't, but I feel like there's just the right amount of sauce here that I know I would be content with, but I think given how robust the sauce itself is, I think a lot of other folks would be satisfied with it as well. Bite in, get this ripe, robust, very flavorful tomato sauce that I think it just works wonders in terms of cutting through, say, the greasiness of the cheese, the pepperoni, a little bit of the salt and oiliness of it all. It just ties it all together. If it weren't for that sauce, I could definitely see it getting like a little bit too much, you know, of certain flavors and characteristics. So that sauce is a godsend, so to speak, and it's really, I think, what makes this pizza, instead of just being something that might be meh, you know, and iffy with even a few minor criticisms, and again, in terms of that, it definitely takes it to that next level and says, hey, this is actually a pretty good pizza, pretty good value. If I was definitely craving like a thin and crispy crust pizza from, you know, Little Caesars or just any place at a good value, I'd get it again. I would. Again, I like the pepperoni distribution, all of that. It's pretty simple, but good. And I think that's what's important. Good value and a decent pizza, too. So therefore, out of 10, I'm going to give this pizza an 8.2 out of 10. You know, again, above average, definitely. Might not be the best of the best, but all things considered, pretty good, I would say. So with that, that's all that we have for you. Tried out the Extramostbestest thin crust pizza. And again, I think it's still maintaining the standards after all these years, so if you want a crispy, thin pizza at a good price, you know, consider Little Caesars if that's what you have in mind. Alright, that's all that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Today's review, again, was for that Little Caesars pizza with some bonus story time, and now I think I'll be able to give this safe a proper burial and put its spirit to rest. And this tie will go into the closet where it can hang out with all of its other tie companions. Alright, that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching. I wish you all the very best. Take care.